Everybody, welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, I'm going to be giving my review for Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Um, okay, where to start with this one? So, when it was first announced, I was intrigued with it, pretty excited, because I thought, oh, okay, this is a different take on Winnie the Pooh, and we're actually getting a horror version. And then I saw what Pooh and Piglet look like. So, and that kind of worried me. I was like, okay. Basically, it literally looks just like two guys in a mask. They don't really do much besides that, to make it feel like Winnie the Pooh, that it's Pooh and Piglet. And then they even look, they look different, which there's supposed to be like a more wild or untamed version of them, so I guess it makes sense. But I thought, I'm still gonna watch it, give it a shot. This movie, I'll start with the positives. The acting and the score were decent. I've seen way worse acting. Um, the score worked for the movie. And the gore was good. Now, I'm not going to say the gore was great because of an issue I had, but the gore was good. But that's kind of where it all just stops for the good parts of it. This is a movie that critically, if you look at it, it's a disaster. It's really bad. If you're just going into it as a dumb, shut your brain off, watch some gory kills, then it can work. But here's the problem, and my biggest issue with the movie. It's the lighting of the scenes. This movie, it's shot a lot at night. So, and it's very dark. Sometimes I couldn't even hardly see anybody on the screen. I don't know what the problem was. I don't know if they just didn't have the budget to light the movie up good. We've seen this issue before with Alien vs. Predator Requiem, that second film that you could barely see anything. This kind of has that same issue, which is why I say when I talk about the gore, I can't say it's great because sometimes it's hard to see the gore. You can see it to an extent, but if it was lit up, you could be able to see it a lot better. I don't know if they did it because of the blood being more CGI, and was trying to hide that effect. I don't know, or because the characters of Pooh, and Piglet would have looked too human, too much like a people in a mask had they lit it up really well. Those are the only two factors I could think of why they wouldn't light this movie better. But that was my biggest issue, and what really hurt this film a lot was the lighting. Now, there's also, as I'd figured with the characters of Pooh and Piglet, they just basically like two guys in a mask. There's nothing that makes me feel like these were, characters from the book at all. And, had they marketed this as just two killers that wore Pooh and Piglet's masks to kill people, I think it would have worked better. But if you were afraid to show them, you could have showed them more. But because they stuck with that theme of this is the actual characters, and you have Christopher Robin and all that, it it just didn't work well, and it made it. They just looked way too. It was way too off for me. And then story wise, the story is kind of boring. On top of that, there's a lot of story plot issues. Or you've got there's no Tigger that I recall that they mentioned. Um, and then I don't know whatever happens with everybody else. We know what happens to Eeyore. We know he gets killed. But what happens to the rest of them, I don't know. I don't know if I missed something, them saying what happened to them, but it's just like the rest just vanished. That was present in the story. Um, Obviously, there's the fact that how big they are. You know, we know these characters as being small characters. Christopher Robin being bigger than them. Now they're massive and towering over Christopher Robin, which would make no sense really. Um, I mean, obviously you got to do it for. Well, I mean, you could have done it where they actually were to size. That would have been interesting, and probably you could have done something with that. But making them the size of a human just was very odd, very weird choice. Um, then you had uh, some issues like toward the end, this girl slams the brakes on her car. And somehow it causes her to be like busted open or something, like blood's all over her face. But all she did was hit the brakes real hard, and then when another guy rams his vehicle into a certain thing, it doesn't cause any damage to his face that wasn't already there. So it's just even little details like that just to me left me just like what the crap, wondering what the crap was they thinking when they made this movie. Um, you know, I give it to the actors. They did the best they could with what they had. They did what they could with the script. How this thing got greenlit for a sequel already, I don't know. I guess they're so cheap to make that it's it's manageable. But this is definitely nothing I need to see a sequel for. I will not watch the sequel for this one. This will probably end up being in my worst of the year by the end of the year because I gave this a 2 out of 5. Um, not not saying there won't be something that's worse, but as of right now, this pretty much I have about guarantee will be in my worst of the year for 2023 releases. Um, I can't recommend it. I mean, I really can't. If I could seen the movie better, maybe I could recommend it just for the gore, but it's just not something I can recommend seeing because it's just not worth it to me. I can't say go spend money on it if your theater does get it. But uh, so yeah, that's everything for my review for Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. So please come like, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified for our videos, and we will see you all in the next one.